Gravity's Maw Rebirth. Chapter 1, The Maw of Suspicion. The Milky Way galaxy, a vast canvas painted with the vibrant hues of nebulae and the brilliant pinpricks of countless stars, pulsed with the energy of life. From the heart of the galactic core to the spiral arms reaching out into the cosmic abyss, diverse civilizations thrived, each a unique brushstroke on the grand tapestry of existence. Among these civilizations, the Krillix Empire stood apart. Their homeworld, a harsh planet of obsidian cliffs and volcanic plains, reflected their stoic and isolationist nature. Yet the Krillix were not a primitive people. Within their sprawling, fortress-like cities, they had mastered the manipulation of energy, a technology that set them apart from their galactic neighbors. Their mastery of this power was a source of both immense pride and a guarded secret, for they believed it to be the key to their survival in a galaxy teeming with unknown dangers. At the heart of this empire, within a chamber carved deep into the obsidian bedrock, Xylo, the Krillix leader, paced with a restless energy that belied his composed exterior. His exoskeleton, a shimmering tapestry of chitinous plates, reflected the dim, pulsating light emitted by the energy core that powered the citadel. The air crackled with a faint electrical charge, a testament to the raw power that coursed through the very veins of his civilization. Xylo's antennae twitched, a subtle sign of his growing unease. The recent news from the Galactic Council had sent ripples of alarm through the Krillix leadership. Humanity, a relatively young and seemingly unremarkable species from a distant arm of the galaxy, had unveiled a technology that defied all known laws of physics, the ability to manipulate gravity itself. Gravity, Xylo mused, the word a low rumble that echoed in the cavernous chamber. A fundamental force of the universe, tamed by these humans. What does it mean for us? For the galaxy? His question hung heavy in the air, a silent challenge to the assembled counselors. Their multifaceted eyes, each a miniature constellation of light-sensitive cells, gleamed with a mixture of fear, curiosity, and a flicker of something akin to envy. They call it manipulation, Xylo continued, his voice laced with a hint of skepticism. But what does it mean to manipulate a force that binds the very fabric of reality? Is it a tool for progress or a weapon of unimaginable destruction? A murmur of voices rose from the counselors, their discussions conducted in a series of clicks and chirps that only a Krillix could decipher. Some advocated for immediate isolation, sealing their borders against this unknown and potentially dangerous force. Others saw an opportunity, a chance to harness this new power for their own gain, to solidify the Krillix Empire's position as a dominant force in the galaxy. Xylo listened patiently, absorbing the various arguments and counter-arguments. But as the debate grew more heated, he raised a chitinous hand, silencing the chamber. "Enough," he declared, his voice firm and resolute. "We cannot afford to make decisions based on speculation and fear. We must learn more about these humans, their technology, and their intentions." He paused, his gaze sweeping across the counselors, his every movement radiating an aura of authority and wisdom. "I propose a diplomatic mission to Earth, under the guise of cultural exchange. We will send a team of our most skilled agents, disguised as ambassadors, to observe their society firsthand." The proposal was met with a mix of apprehension and intrigue. Such a mission was fraught with risk, but the potential reward, knowledge, understanding, perhaps even a strategic advantage, was too tempting to ignore. After a brief but intense debate, the counselors reached a consensus. The mission was approved. Xylo, relieved yet burdened by the weight of his decision, addressed his advisors one last time. "This mission is not without risk," he cautioned, "but it is a risk we must take. The fate of our empire may well depend on the knowledge we gain." With that, the Krillix began preparations for their journey to Earth. A team of their most skilled agents, masters of disguise and infiltration, were selected for the task. They would travel to Earth under the banner of peace and diplomacy, but their true mission was far more critical: to uncover the secrets of humanity's gravity, manipulation technology, and determine whether they posed a threat to the Krillix Empire and the Galactic Order. The stage was set for an encounter that would shape the destiny of two civilizations, and perhaps the entire galaxy. The maw of suspicion had opened, and the Krillix were about to step into the unknown. Chapter 2. The Bridge of Understanding. The Krillix delegation emerged from their sleek, angular starship onto a sprawling landing platform. Xylo blinked as his eyes adjusted to the unfamiliar sunlight, a warm golden glow that bathed the landscape in a vibrant radiance. The air was thick with the sense of life, the sweet perfume of flowering plants, the earthy aroma of soil, and a subtle tang of salt carried on a gentle breeze. It was a stark contrast to the sterile, controlled environment of his homeworld. Anya Bridge Builder Tanaka, a woman with a radiant smile and eyes that sparkled with intelligence, approached with a welcoming party of human dignitaries. Her voice, amplified by a subtle translation device, was clear and melodious, like the gentle flow of a mountain stream. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador Xylo," she said, extending a hand in greeting. "We are honored to have you as our guest." Xylo cautiously extended his own hand, the kittenous claws at the end of his fingers clicking softly as they met Anya's. Despite the differences in their physical forms, he sensed a warmth and sincerity in her greeting that put him at ease. "The honor is mine, Ambassador Tanaka," Xylo replied, his voice a low rumble that resonated with authority. "My delegation and I are eager to learn more about your world and your people." Over the next few days, Anya guided Xylo and his entourage on a whirlwind tour of Earth, showcasing the wonders of human civilization. They visited soaring cities that seemed to defy gravity, their buildings rising towards the sky like colossal trees reaching for the sun. They toured advanced medical facilities where gravity manipulation was used to heal injuries and alleviate suffering. They observed vast agricultural projects where controlled gravitational fields coaxed crops from barren soil, ensuring a bountiful harvest for all. But it was the visit to a war-torn planet that truly opened Xylo's eyes. This once vibrant world had been ravaged by conflict, its landscape scarred with craters, and its atmosphere choked with toxic fumes. Yet, the humans had not abandoned it. Instead, they had deployed a team of brilliant engineers who were using gravity manipulation to mend the planet's wounds. They stabilized its fractured core, purified its atmosphere, and coaxed life back into the barren soil. Witnessing this act of selfless compassion, Xylo felt a profound shift within himself. He had always viewed humanity through the lens of suspicion and fear, wary of their rapid technological advancement and their potential for aggression. But here he saw a different side of them, a compassionate, caring side that sought to heal and rebuild, not conquer and destroy. As he spent more time with Anya, sharing meals and engaging in deep conversations about their respective cultures and philosophies, Xylo's admiration for humanity grew. He was fascinated by their diversity, their creativity, their unwavering spirit of exploration. He found himself drawn to Anya's warmth, her intelligence, and her unwavering belief in the power of understanding and cooperation. For the first time in his long life, Xylo began to question his own beliefs, his own preconceived notions about the universe and the beings that inhabited it. He realized that his fear of humanity had blinded him to their true nature, their potential for good. The seeds of doubt had been planted, and they were already beginning to take root in his heart. Chapter 3. The Seeds of Discord. The Krillix starship pierced the swirling clouds of their homeworld's atmosphere, its sleek silhouette a stark contrast to the jagged volcanic landscape below. Xylo emerged from the transport chamber, his steps echoing through the stone corridors as he made his way to the council chambers. The air crackled with anticipation, the silent tension a stark contrast to the warmth and vibrancy he'd experienced on Earth. The counselors had assembled, their multifaceted eyes fixed on Xylo as he took his place at the head of the table. He could feel their skepticism, their mistrust, radiating from them like heat from a furnace. "Xylo," General Zolt rasped, his voice a grating sound like scraping metal. "We have heard rumors of your experiences on Earth. Tell us, what have you learned of these humans?" Xylo drew a deep breath, the air hissing through his spiracles. "I have seen their technology firsthand. It is impressive, far beyond anything we have encountered before. But more importantly, I have witnessed their spirit, their compassion, their unwavering belief in peace." A wave of murmurs and clicks rippled through the chamber. Zolt's eyes narrowed, his chitinous brow furrowed in disapproval. "Peace?" he scoffed. A naive concept born of weakness. History has taught us that power is the only true guarantor of survival. These humans, with their newfound abilities, are a threat to the delicate balance of the galaxy. Xylo held his ground. I disagree, General. I have seen their humanitarian efforts, their commitment to restoring damaged worlds. Their technology is not a weapon, but a tool for healing and progress. Zolt snorted, his disbelief palpable. A tool for progress? Or a tool for conquest? Mark my words, Xylo, these humans will turn on us. They will use their power to dominate the galaxy, just as we have. The debate raged for hours. Xylo's pleas for understanding met with skepticism and fear. He sensed an undercurrent of manipulation, a subtle influence that was fanning the flames of xenophobia. He could not shake the feeling that there were forces at play, hidden agendas that sought to undermine his message of peace. Late into the night, as the counselors dispersed, a sense of dread settled upon Xylo. He knew he had failed to convince them that the seeds of discord had been sown. Desperate to prevent a catastrophic conflict, he made a risky decision. In the quiet solitude of his private chambers, he activated a secure communication channel, a relic from his time on Earth. A holographic image flickered to life, revealing Anya's warm smile and concerned eyes. "Anya," Xylo whispered, his voice barely audible. "I need your help." He shared his concerns about the growing anti-human sentiment, his suspicions of Xylonian influence, and the classified Krillix intelligence that could expose their plot. Anya listened intently, her expression growing grim as she realized the gravity of the situation. "I will do what I can, Xylo," she assured him, "but you must be careful. Your actions could be seen as treason." Xylo nodded, his mandibles clicking softly. "I am aware of the risks, but I cannot stand idly by while my people are led down a path of destruction." The holographic image faded, leaving Xylo alone with his thoughts. He knew he had taken a dangerous gamble, but he was determined to see it through. The fate of the galaxy rested on his shoulders, and he would not falter. Chapter 4. The Gravity of Truth. Weeks turned into a blur of clandestine meetings and coded messages as Xylo and Anya worked tirelessly to unravel the Xylonian plot. They delved deep into the Krillix intelligence network, sifting through reams of data and surveillance logs. Slowly, a pattern emerged, a web of deceit spun by the Xylonians, designed to paint humanity as aggressors and sow the seeds of discord throughout the galaxy. Xylo uncovered a network of Xylonian spies and saboteurs, their presence carefully concealed within Krillix society. They had infiltrated key institutions, manipulating information, spreading misinformation, and even instigating minor skirmishes to escalate tensions. Their goal was clear: to push the Krillix towards war with humanity, weakening both empires and allowing the Xylonians to seize power in the resulting chaos. Anya, meanwhile, worked her diplomatic channels, reaching out to trusted contacts within the human government. She shared Xylo's findings, providing evidence of the Xylonian plot and appealing for their assistance in exposing the truth. The humans, though wary, were convinced by Anya's sincerity and the weight of the evidence. They agreed to provide their own intelligence, further corroborating Xylo's claims. With a mountain of irrefutable proof in hand, Xylo called for an emergency council meeting. The chamber was filled to capacity, the air thick with anticipation and unease. Xylo stood before his counselors, his stance unwavering, his voice steady as he addressed them. "I come before you today with grave news," he began, his words echoing through the chamber. "The evidence I have gathered reveals a conspiracy, a web of deceit spun by the Xylonians to manipulate us into a war with humanity." He presented the data, the intercepted communications, the detailed accounts of Xylonian sabotage. The counselors listened in stunned silence, their eyes wide with disbelief and alarm. Some, like Xylo's close advisor, Kyle, nodded in agreement, their trust in their leader unwavering. Others, led by General Zolt, remained skeptical, their faces etched with doubt and suspicion. "This is preposterous," Zolt roared, his voice booming through the chamber. "These are baseless accusations, a desperate attempt to deflect blame from your own incompetence." Xylo met Zolt's gaze head-on, his resolve unwavering. "I have presented you with irrefutable evidence, General. The Xylonians are the true enemy, and they seek to destroy us all." The chamber erupted in chaos, the counselors shouting and arguing amongst themselves. Xylo watched as the debate raged, his heart sinking as he realized that the council was deeply divided. He had hoped that the truth would unite them, but instead it seemed to have torn them apart. As the hours wore on, the debate grew more heated, the accusations more personal. Xylo found himself isolated, his authority challenged, his motives questioned. He had never felt so alone, so adrift in the sea of political intrigue, yet he refused to give up. He knew that the fate of his people, and perhaps the entire galaxy, depended on his ability to convince them of the truth. He would not rest until he had exposed the Xylonians' plot and rallied the Krillix to stand united against the true enemy. This was a test of his leadership, a trial by fire that would forge him into the leader his people needed, and he would not fail. Chapter 5. Dance of the Maw. A wave of shock and outrage rippled through the galaxy as Xylo's message echoed across the vast expanse of space. The Xylonians' carefully constructed facade of peace and diplomacy crumbled, revealing their true nature as warmongering manipulators. Across countless star systems, screens flickered to life, broadcasting Xylo's impassioned plea for unity. He spoke of the Xylonians' deception, their plot to instigate a galactic war, and their insidious campaign of fear-mongering. He reminded the galaxy of humanity's generosity, their willingness to share their technology for the betterment of all, and their unwavering commitment to peace. His words resonated with those who had benefited from human aid and innovation. The insectoid Zorans, who had seen their ravaged homeworld restored by human terraforming technology, pledged their support. The ethereal luminari, whose understanding of the universe had been expanded by human astrophysics, offered their wisdom and guidance. Even the cautious Glaritan, a race known for their neutrality, declared their solidarity with Xylo and humanity. A coalition of diverse races, united by a common threat and a shared belief in peace, began to mobilize. Starships bearing the insignias of countless worlds converged on Krillix space, their crews eager to defend their newfound allies. The Xylonians, realizing their deception had been exposed, lashed out in a desperate attempt to maintain their grip on power. Their fleet, a menacing armada of sleek, heavily armed warships, emerged from hyperspace, their energy weapons blazing. The Krillix, now unified under Xylo's leadership, met the Xylonians head-on, their own ships shimmering with gravitational distortions as they countered the enemy's attacks. The battle was a chaotic ballet of light and energy, a symphony of destruction played out on a cosmic scale. Starships danced in a deadly embrace, their hulls gleaming in the light of exploding torpedoes and searing energy beams. Gravitational fields warped and twisted, bending the trajectory of projectiles and distorting the fabric of space itself. In the heart of the maelstrom, Xylo's flagship, the Gravity's Maw, engaged Commander Zarek's command vessel, the Xylonian Pride. The two ships circled each other like predators, their weapons exchanging a deadly volley of fire. But this was more than just a battle of technology. It was a clash of wills, a duel between two leaders with vastly different visions for the future of the galaxy. Xylo, his resolve hardened by his experiences on Earth, pushed his ship to its limits, utilizing every ounce of his knowledge of gravity manipulation. He warped the space around his ship, creating a swirling vortex that deflected enemy fire and destabilized their targeting systems. He drew the Xylonian Pride closer, luring it into a gravitational trap. The two ships closed in, their hulls almost touching. Xylo, his eyes locked on Zarek's through the viewscreen, could feel the Xylonian commander's rage and desperation. He knew this was his moment to strike, to end the conflict and secure the future of the galaxy. With a final surge of power, Xylo unleashed the full fury of the Gravity's Maw. The ship's gravity generators roared to life, their energy surging through the hull and into the surrounding space. The Xylonian Pride was caught in the maelstrom, its shields buckling under the immense pressure. Its hull creaked and groaned as it was twisted and contorted, its once proud form reduced to a mangled wreck. Zarek, defeated and humiliated, was forced to surrender. The remaining Xylonian ships, demoralized by the loss of their leader and outmatched by the combined might of the Galactic Coalition, retreated in disarray. Xylo had emerged victorious, not through brute force, but through strategic brilliance and a newfound understanding of the power of unity and compassion. He had proven that even the most formidable challenges could be overcome through cooperation and a shared belief in a better future. The galaxy had been reborn, and Xylo, the once cautious Krillix leader, had emerged as its unlikely hero. Chapter 6, A New Dawn. In the aftermath of the Xylonian conflict, a fragile peace settled upon the galaxy. The scars of war were still fresh, the wreckage of countless starships a stark reminder of the destruction that had been wrought. Yet, amidst the debris, a new hope began to blossom. Xylo stood on the observation deck of the gravity's maw, gazing out at the star-strewn expanse before him. The gentle hum of the ship's gravity generators filled the air, a comforting rhythm that soothed his weary soul. Beside him, Anya leaned against the railing, her gaze mirroring his own. "It's hard to believe it's finally over," she said, her voice soft and contemplative. The galaxy was so close to the brink. Xylo nodded, his mandibles clicking thoughtfully. The Xylonians nearly succeeded in their plan. It was only through our unity that we were able to overcome them. "And your leadership," Anya added, turning to face him. "You risked everything to expose the truth. You inspired your people to fight for a better future." Xylo lowered his gaze, a flicker of humility passing through his eyes. "I was merely a vessel, Anya. It was the courage of our combined forces, the spirit of cooperation, that truly won the day." He paused, his gaze returning to the stars. "But the war has changed us, Anya. It has shown us that our old ways, our isolationist tendencies, are no longer sustainable. We must embrace a new path, one of openness and collaboration." Anya smiled, her eyes gleaming with hope. "That's what the Galactic Council is for, Xylo. It's a chance for all civilizations to come together, to learn from each other, to build a brighter future for the entire galaxy." In the months that followed, Xylo and Anya worked tirelessly to establish the Galactic Council. They invited representatives from every corner of the galaxy, from the smallest outposts to the most powerful empires. Together, they drafted a charter, a set of guiding principles that emphasized cooperation, understanding, and the peaceful resolution of conflict. The Council's first meeting was a momentous occasion, a symbol of the galaxy's newfound unity. Delegates from diverse worlds gathered in a grand chamber, their voices a symphony of languages and accents. Xylo, standing before them, felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. He had helped to forge a new era, a new dawn for the galaxy. As the council began its work, Xylo and Anya continued to collaborate, sharing their knowledge of gravity manipulation and its countless applications. They helped to rebuild war-torn worlds, establish trade routes, and fostered cultural exchange programs. The galaxy, once fragmented by fear and mistrust, slowly began to heal. One evening, as they stood on the observation deck of the gravity's maw, gazing out at the stars, Anya turned to Xylo. "Do you remember the first time we met?" she asked, a smile playing on her lips. "You were so wary, so suspicious of us." Xylo chuckled, his mandibles clicking softly. "I was foolish, Anya. I allowed fear to cloud my judgment. But you showed me the true face of humanity, your kindness, your compassion. And you showed me the true strength of the Krillix," Anya replied, her eyes shining with warmth. "Your courage, your determination, your willingness to change." They stood in silence for a moment, the only sound the gentle hum of the ship's gravity generators. Then Xylo reached out, his chitinous hand gently touching Anya's. "Together," he said, his voice filled with hope, "we can build a better future. For our people, for all the peoples of the galaxy." Anya smiled, her hand tightening around his. "Together," she echoed. And as they stood there side by side, gazing out at the vast expanse of the cosmos, they knew that the seeds of peace had been sown and a new dawn had truly begun.